We just need an app. No, you don't. You need a good one. If an app adds value and it's easy to use, fine, think about it. My bank, the bank I named before, came out with an app, and I downloaded it. You know what it did when I clicked on it? It went to a page on their website. If all your app does is take me to your website, it's called a link, not an app. Think before you use these things, please. Do it right or don't do it at all. Next slide, please. I'm so angry. I'm sorry. I'm getting like an ulcer, but still, please understand, this anger is passion. You won't believe me. I do like real estate agents. I do respect the ones who do it right, and I despise the ones who do it wrong on purpose, who thinks all about, that call every person in their city or their town a lead. I love good real estate agents, and I want to help those people, and I just want to piss off the ones who I don't like. So it's a good world together. Here's another example of killing the system, of doing something wrong. Is this. I've seen it on a lot of real estate contact forums. You know, inquire about a property or contact us, whatever it is. It's the CAPTCHA. We've all seen the CAPTCHA, most likely, right? The CAPTCHA here. This was a CAPTCHA that I actually ran into to buy a product. I actually went all the way down their sales funnel, all the way down the sales cycle, and I got to this to buy, just to hand my credit card out. And I got this. Now, I have better than 20/20 vision. My optometrist calls me Batman. I have a really good vision. I can read the first word. What's the second one? It looks like a drunk bat. It looks like a drunk bat. It looks like a drunk bat that was run over a truck twice. And when I clicked on the audio to tell me what it says, so I could hear it to type it in, it said wedged. How do you spell that? P-F-F-F-T. So you know what the end result here was? I didn't end up buying the product. Congratulations, you're a moron. This is not how we do it. Get these CAPTCHAs off your sites. Well, it stops spam. There's other ways to stop spam. Don't make me jump through hoops to contact you. Isn't that the point? Isn't the entire purpose of your funnel is to get me to either send you that email form or pick up the phone? Stop making it hurdle. Stop making me jump through hurdles to get in touch with you. You're right there. They're right at the cusp with you. Don't put up the roadblocks. Next slide, please. Bring in the next two as well. It should be on the same slide here. There we go. So about email marketing itself. I want to talk about email. I'll talk about these numbers in 1 second. What I want you to understand, I know we're talking about social today, you know, more social, less media. We still, social and talking to also can still apply to email. I'm an old school email marketer. Obviously, I'm the social media fanboy. I'm very outrageously supportive of social media, but never forget your email list. I still think email is more valuable than any other marketing method. I'd rather have 1,000 opt-ins from my community and people in my area, my direct area of where I buy and sell homes. I'd rather have 1,000 people on my email list than 1,000 followers, or 1,000 people on my email list and 1,000 likes on Facebook. Email is more valuable if you do it right, not if you do it wrong. If all you do is email me properties all day, it's not going to work. Here's a stat here. Last year in America, they surveyed the top 100 retailers in America, and they on average sent 177 emails out to their customers. Customers, not newsletter subscribers, people who've already bought. So your list, your contact list, who maybe you bought and sold homes for. 177 emails. That's literally one every other day. Some of those retailers were over 500 plus a year to each subscriber. Are you kidding me? Real estate is really, really fancy about touch points and how often, like 7 or 8 exposures to you, which sounds very awkward, by the way, 7 or 8 exposures to you before they, trust you, or you got to stay in front of them, hence why all the postcards and all the crap and all the networking events. It's not about touch points. It's not about frequency. It's about awesome frequency. It's about awesome touch points. So sending me a crappy postcard that's designed poorly and all it says is, ha-ha, we sold the house in your area. Suck it. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You stay in front of me with value. With value. Become the catalyst for your community. Update me saying, what's going on in the area? Our minor soccer team just won the championship last week. That's awesome. And I sponsored the team. How cool is that? Whatever that is, stay in front of me with value. not just with properties. You've got to understand something. Can I just talk frankly between you and me right now? Just me and 2,000 people right now, and Twitter, and everything else. Nobody cares about a home the way you care about a home. Now that sounds like a horrible, cheesy tagline right now, but I mean this as a negative thing. People don't care about homes as much as you do. So when all you do is tweet and email and Facebook homes, you are ostracizing your market, your list. I care about my home, obviously. And I care about buying and selling a home when I'm in that very small time frame of buying and selling a home. Outside of that, 95% of my life, I don't care about the transactional home issues that you care about every day. So remember that when you're touching your list and bragging about your sale and bragging about your open house and announcing it. But I always care about my community. You see the difference? So if you're promoting local things all the time, I always care about what you're saying. But if you're promoting just buying and selling homes all the time, I have a 5% window of my life where I want to listen to you. That's a bad ratio. And this 70% number here is shown that a couple of the big retailers in the States, when they lessened their frequency but improved their awesome in what they're sending, they increased their sales by 70%. Respect the inbox. We all could use less email in our lives. Stop abusing this privilege. If people unsubscribe to your newsletter, we're doing it wrong. Respect them, and you'll nurture them to be even better and closer towards you. Next slide, please. And that's about social. Social media itself success doesn't exist. Social media doesn't fix anything. It just amplifies it. If you're a crappy realtor, you're just a crappier realtor on social media. It doesn't make you better. I don't think everybody should be on social media. If you have one of the guys, an agent in your office or the broker or one of the realtors in there, and the mandate is everybody needs to be on social media, that is a bad call. There's a few reasons why social media should not work and will not work for you. One, if you have no time, social is a bad place. I think realtors are perfect for social because social runs off mobile so well, off phones, and you guys always are on your phones, always on the go. It's great for Twitter and Facebook as well. Really a good way. But if you have no time, if you have 2 minutes a week to spend on social media, don't do it. It's like walking into a networking event saying, hey, everybody has to go and I got to go, and walking out the door. It doesn't work. Social media takes time. Social media does not change the fact that relationships take time. It takes time. And the other reason why you shouldn't use social media is if you hate people. That's a bad place to hang out. There's lots of them there. Next slide, please. But here's an article I just read last month from Vancouver. Realtors, social media, an epic fail. I can't love a newspaper using epic fail in their title. Vancouver real estate professionals say despite the hype, social media has largely proven a flop when it comes to selling real estate. Social media is not dead, but the use of it selling a product or service is. Go to the next slide before I start spitting. I'm gonna bust a vein. I had to take that article off. I'm sorry. Here's why. I'm going to have an aneurysm. Okay. Social media has never been a good place to sell, is not a good place to sell now, and will not be a good place to sell in the future. This article makes it sound like, well, back in the day, I could tweet out my all caps listings and sell a home in 4 minutes, and now it's just died. Shut your mouth. Social has never been a good place to sell. Social is a good place to get relationships built. It's the same thing with networking events. You don't sell a home at a networking event. You build the relationship so you possibly can sell the home down the road. Social never has, never will be a good place to sell. And that's a good thing. That article should have been a celebration. It should not have said epic fail. It should have said epic win. Yay! Social sucks for selling homes. That's good. That's good. Not bad. Don't try to fix that. Don't try to make it, well, I can sell it better. Stop it. Just don't do it. But don't tell me your audience isn't on social media. Don't tell me they're not there. Who is your audience? Who is your market? Is your target market people? I'm doing air quotes right now, by the way. People? Is your niche human beings? Because if they are, they're there. I don't have to give you the numbers. We've seen it at Facebook approaching 1 billion. But I saw a blog post that said only 55% of adult Americans use Facebook regularly, like daily. Only 117 million people. Really? Is that all? Is that small? Stop it. They're there. It's their question is, do you want to talk with them or not? If you truly believe about relationships, then you would want to talk with them. Next slide. So angry. Okay, so you can see here all the top visited sites in November 2011. And this is visits, okay? This isn't unique users, so the numbers look a little inflated, but they're good for comparison. Facebook, 7 billion visits that month. Twitter, 667,000. Tag, which is another social network where you can find people you don't know. LinkedIn, MySpace. Still rocking. If I started this talk, if I jumped on this webinar and said, hey everybody, we're talking about MySpace strategy right now, you would have clicked me right off the call. Chad would have muted me and then booted me from this whole call. It is still relevant. It is still there. It's mostly now a music and humor-based, a comedy-based site. My yearbooks for high school people, Pinterest. Good old Pinterest. How do I make that work? I'm going to talk about Pinterest in a second, but it's the newest kind of awesome level of a bright shiny object. We got to be careful. Just wanted to show you this list because you can see that there's more out there than what we're using and what could be possibly best for your marketplace. Next slide. So here's Pinterest. Oh, realtors. Oh, you make me angry. Not all of you. I truly believe that at half of realtors, at least, if not 80% of them or 93% of them, are jackasses. Not you. Nobody on this call, by the way. No, not 2,000 people. None of you, but everybody else are. Here's an example of Pinterest. We hear about Pinterest. Yay! And it's awesome. We're pinning it. Let's pin our own stuff on it. Remember, Pinterest was successful because of passion, not because of profit. There's a difference here, okay? So here's an example for our slide. You notice this here, Howard County MD Real Estate, okay? So what they did here was they posted their own pin of themselves standing back-to-back crossed arms. Well done. That's third only to the realtor picture of the hand under the chin and the one using your iPhone as like a gun holster or holding it up like Charlie's Angels. Well played, guys. Well played. So the reason why I point them out and actually show them to you because they're on a public site. So what happened is they took this and they pinned it. Pinterest works off of people loving photos and sharing them of backyards, of great recipes, of great dresses and hairstyles. Like 98% women and me. That's what the site is. But these guys, hired somebody to say, just put us on there. So they did like a keyword-rich base to it. And then look below. Look right at the bottom. Look below where it's the comments. Good one. I wanted my home in Howard County. Next one. Wonderful. I like that. Next. Yeah, property in a great place. I hope it'll be a great deal. They've outsourced overseas people to comment on their pin and then like it and repin it so it'll become popular on Pinterest. I hope some jackass marketing consultant told them this is the way to do it. I hope this wasn't their own endeavor. But the point is, you're breaking Pinterest when you do this. Okay, next slide, please. You'll see what I mean here. See here? This is the repins. This is somebody. It's like a retweet. People are taking the pins and pinning it on their own board. But look at this. See all these people? They all repinned it back onto the own board of them. Pinterest. You're doing it wrong. And the last one, Barry here put into marketing lessons. I actually started telling everybody about this pin. People started going there and started getting mad at them in the comments because they look stupid. So here's an example of breaking Pinterest. Pinterest works because out of passion, not because of profit or because of your property. Now, if you have an amazing property with a treehouse that's upside down or something, pin that mother up there. Great. But for a regular house or something, people pin it. It doesn't get successful. Nobody likes it. It's a great way to show a visual, but understand if you want to get popular on there, it's got to be great stuff. Next slide, please. All right, so here's an example. Here's a tip for you that I want you guys to use here. At the bottom, this is Pinterest.com/source/your website. So actually put your website in there. If you want to see what's being pinned on your home sites that you have, put that link in, but put your site instead of your site. You know what I mean. So this visual you're seeing right now is like Pinterest/source/unmarketing.com. So I can see what's being pinned from my site. You can do this with your site as well, your blog, your brokerage, whatever it is. But first, make your stuff pin friendly though. If you actually do want to put your houses on there, or you have some cool properties, make it pinnable. Making it pinnable means not flash-based. Pins can't grab flash photos, they'll grab JPEGs, pings, and all those type of things, but not flash. So make it friendly, and you can see what gets pinged. By the way, that's a shot of me on a stool here. A shot of me sitting there on a stool. A graphic designer calls that the stool shot, which is very unfortunate, but that's what graphic designers are like. Next slide. All right, and click it one more time too. Pull this through. So the problem is there's too many places. Yes, there's too many places to go and places to see and try. So that's why I did what I call platforming. And I picked one. Now, I joined Twitter in April '08, and I dabbled in it. I didn't do much. I just thought it was stupid. And for 8 months, I kind of casually tweeted, and I got 1,200 followers. And then January 1st, '09, I decided to live on Twitter for 30 days. Flip over to the next slide. Here's my chart. Here's my number of tweets. You can get this yourself. You can go to tweetstats.com and run your name. It's free. It'll give you a breakdown of your tweets. You see that big red bar there, January 2009? I tweeted almost 7,000 times that month. I lived on Twitter for 30 days, morning, day, and night, all the time. This is what I did. I lived on Twitter. And I went from 1,200 followers to 10,000. And now I'm at 120,000 followers. I've tweeted 85,000 times. But those numbers mean nothing. They mean squat. There's one number I want you to remember. If you go to the next slide, I want to show you that number. This is it. Please, I beg of you, realtors, this is the point I want you to remember from this talk more than anything else. Not 120,000 followers. Not 85,000 tweets. But this, 75% of my tweets are replies. It's actually 78.8% now, I think. But 75% of my tweets are replies. You want the secret to Twitter? Here it is. Here you go. You don't have to share it with anybody. Just take it for yourself. I have replied over 65,000 times to people on Twitter. Twitter is a conversation, not a dictation. You want to do social media? More social, less media. More social, less open house tweets. More social, less listings. Talk with people, not at them. Next slide, please. So if you're going to use it, use it. If not, don't. I had a woman reply to me, and it took her 79 days to reply. Like, if you can mail a letter, if I can walk a letter to you faster than you reply, you're doing it wrong. Either delete your account or use it, but use it regularly. Next slide, please. And Facebook, here's the problem with Facebook is it's so busy that we can barely find people on there now, that we're not monitoring our Facebook page. If you go to the next page, I want to show you part of this here. That we overvalue likes. Here's all the different world and language versions of likes. And what happens is we put so much value in liking our pages that we forget that it's very hard to reach those people back. It's really hard to get them to see anything after they like your page. Like if I went to any of you right now and said, list me the 10 brands you like on Facebook, you'll be hard reached to come up with 4 because you haven't seen them. Or name all the brands. How often does a brand come up in your timeline on Facebook? When you log into your homepage on Facebook, what comes up? It's mostly your friends, right? Most of your friends and your family will come up on that top news. And rarely does a brand make their way in there. It's really hard to get back there. So don't put all your eggs in the Facebook basket. No. It doesn't work that way. It's content is great, but you know, the platform, you have to remember which platform to use it on properly. And can I also request, this is a personal request to you, please take your frickin' title out of your name on Facebook. Like if you said Scott Stratton, real estate agent, or Scott Stratton, mortgage broker as your actual names, like in first and last you put Scott Stratton, real estate agent. So it comes up on every time your name comes up. You just look like a jackass doing that. Because what's wrong with Scott Stratton? What's wrong with your, don't use Scott Stratton, it's my name. But what's wrong with just your name? Twitter, I understand. You can put your brand name as your handle. I get that. But Facebook is personal. You don't introduce yourself to everybody, hey, there's Scott Stratton, real estate agent. Right? You just say your name. Hey, I'm Scott. Don't be that realtor. Please. There's enough already. Please stop it. Take that name out of there. You're killing me. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you very quickly what third circle means, what viral means. Right now, click a couple more times so we see third circle so I can explain it to you. Yeah, one more. Perfect. Okay, so this is how viral marketing works. I used to run my agency on marketing. We did word of mouth all the time. We did all these things about how we spread things. You can see yourself in the middle. When you share something, okay, your first circle, this is your context, your friends, your likes, your people, your peeps, okay? They always will see what you share. Twitter, Facebook, email, whatever that is, okay? And a lot of these people in that first circle, your direct contacts, will like or comment or share it just because of they're your friend or they're a vendor or they're a customer. and they'll like and they'll comment, which will automatically react to Twitter and Facebook sharing it. So they will always share it with their circle, which is your second circle. Okay, it's one removed from you. The key for viral, the key to word of mouth is to have it reach the third circle. That's the circle of people that are twice removed from you. So let's take an example here. I share a home I'm selling. My first circle sees it, hey, that's a nice home, and they share it to the second circle. Do those people care? The ones who have no attachment to you whatsoever, no brand umbilical cord. Once they share it unconditionally at the end of that third circle, that's when it starts going word of mouth. That's when it starts going viral. Next slide, I'll show you an example of this, okay? Here's an example of second circle. Here's a doggy, okay? Here's a nice black lab. Okay, and yeah, it's cute. Maybe I want to share, hey, my dog, and if you know me, it's like, hey, there's Scott's dog, and you'll share it. But it's not that good enough for people, for strangers to me, in my second circle, to share with their third circle. Let's go to the next slide. But this is a third circle picture of a dog. You see the difference? This is a dog getting hit in the nutsack with a ball, and it's great view on his face. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my own picture. It's amazing. So here, you see the example here of third circle? So people in that third circle will share it because even if they don't know me, that's a great freaking shot. That's a great picture. That's how I look when I get hit in the cash and prizes. So that's what I'll share. I'll give you another example. Go to the next slide, please.
I'm laughing too hard to go on. Sorry, Scott.
How great is that picture, man? I love it. I love my
That's
job.
awesome.
Pictures of dog shots. Okay, so here's an example just for you guys that put it, okay? Here's a home. Okay? Here's a home, and you're listing it. So you share it. Your first circle shares it because, like, hey, I'm helping out Jeff with this stuff. And it goes to the second circle. But it doesn't go any farther. Now go to the next slide, please. Here's an example of a third circle. Okay? This is Pinterest. This is an amazing kind of front foyer. This is the #1 popular house picture on Pinterest. Look at the numbers. 6,000 likes, 158 comments, and 40,000 repins. People share this type of stuff. Not because you're selling a house. People will not share pictures of your houses, the interior or the exterior, because you want to sell it. They will share them because they look awesome. That's the difference. Next slide, please. So be very careful where we go. One of the last things I want to share with you guys before you get the next group of awesome speakers is be careful on what you say or do in social. Be careful what you say or do in social media. Do not tweet, email, post, or blog, anything you don't want to see on a billboard with your brokerage logo, your brand, your face, and your phone number on it with your mom, your best client, and your boss driving by. That picture is me pole dancing in Las Vegas. Now you see, I was at a geek conference, so everybody had their phones out. That was on Twitter before I got off stage. And my mom saw it, so she's proud of her boy. This is the problem here, that we got to be careful that it's okay for my brand, because my brand, as you can tell, is being a freak. But for yours, I'm not sure that'll work. I'm not sure how well it worked. And it's examples in public, too. If I'll pull up the next slide. There's an example of public there. Is this too soon? Is it too soon to show WEINER? I'm not sure if it's too soon to talk about Commerce and WEINER. But as an example, WEINER showed his WEINER on Twitter by mistake. Tried to present it as a private message, and it didn't work. We had a member of Parliament in Ottawa up here in Canada who also did the same thing. Luckily, his package was covered, but he sent an underwear shot out by mistake in public. And he came back and said, oh, I'm sorry, my phone went off in my pants. Really? That's some magic pants. Your pants have great lighting. Be careful what goes on out there. Be careful what happens. You are always representing your brand. You are always representing your industry. So instead of just trying to do everything, just do some things awesome. I'm going to wrap it up right there because I want to have enough time. Thank you so much for getting on there. Thank you for putting up with me at the technical stuff at the start, and I hope you got something and enjoy the kick-ass lineup for the rest of the day. I appreciate it.